Your industry has had a kind of learning curve that has been very steep in trying to figure out how to deal with gender equality, how to deal with sexual misconduct, how to deal with all of the issues that we've all been grappling with for quite some time. But it feels like the insurance industry has come sort of relatively late to that. Am I misinterpreting what is going on? Am I mischaracterizing what is happening?
I think you're right. I mean, we should not be complacent. Executives have been building a very, very good awareness about the matter and the critical importance of it, let's say in the latest kind of 5-10 years. We are there now. Executive awareness is there. Now it's about making sure that this awareness is cascaded.
But Bloomberg did some reporting earlier on this year highlighting sexual misconduct within the insurance industry, and some of that reporting was quite dramatic. While the executives may be aware of what is going on, is that going into the culture yet? Culture is so important. Changing culture is so difficult, though. You may be aware of it, but is that culture changing fast enough?
Culture is the cause of the historic problem, and culture is dramatically changing. We've been leading a very important kind of festival of activities to make sure that all levels in the insurance market were participating to the initiative since 4 years. So you can feel now through Lloyd's, through the London market. So it was Lloyd's, of course, the London insurance brokers, the international insurance companies. So there is a lot of initiatives, so nobody can ignore that. And nobody can ignore that we as leaders will never, ever accept any disruption of this nature.
So you're one of the senior leaders in the Bloomberg Gender Equality Index that are trying to come up with ways to make sure that genders are treated equally. Why, in your estimation, is it so difficult to pay sexes the same and to hire in equal numbers at equal levels of an organization?
So the big challenge that we face is actually the fact that we still have in the London insurance market most of our senior leaders being males. So the real challenge is making sure that we are putting a situation where females are going to access to managerial and senior executive roles. So the second part of your question, this is really about addressing the bench. This is making sure that we develop talent, we promote talent, and we properly ensure equal pay for those talents, and that's going to be to benefit to a female presence in the managerial and executive roles.
So do you undertake then reviews of pay at Willis Towers Watson? Could you, if I asked you to, and I won't, but could you tell me what the pay gap is right now?
Yes, the pay gap is appalling in our company, and I'm absolutely not proud about that. It is at the moment 38.5%, so this is really bad. We've made some progress versus last year. It was 42. So, but to be honest, I cannot complacent. I cannot celebrate on such a small progress. So what I can assure you is that what we are doing, and by the way, big credit to our leaders, is that we pay enormous attention to make sure that at each promotion round, at each pay review round, females are really well taken care of, so that there is no deviation between what is granted for males and females. But the important thing, by the way, is that we do that for our own company, but you probably know that we have an employee inside practice as Willis Towers Watson, so we've got clients in this environment, and they are really asking for help. They're asking for analytics. It's about having pay analytics, it's about gender analytics, and it's also about something that we are more often talking about recently. It's about listening to the employees, making sure that we have pulse surveys, that we have focus groups, so that we can understand what's happening in the process.
Do you think there should be penalties? I was talking to Nikki Morgan a little earlier. She's the chair of the Treasury Select Committee. We'll play that interview out a little bit later on this programme. I asked her whether penalties would encourage big financial organisations to move a little bit quicker. There are banks with worse numbers than yours, and they are moving, again, at a very slow pace. Yeah. Does the industry need more incentive to move more quickly to get this fixed?
I think, to be honest, that the best incentive is the business incentive. We know that we are going to perform well if we have equality in our workplace. We know that we are going to retain the talents if they are happy to work with us, if they see the career promotion. We need more women in our talent base, and we need to make sure that they stay with us. So the punishment, the worst punishment for a business is to not keep its asset, which is our talents. We are an IP company. We provide risk and people advisory. We don't have financial capital. Our capital is human capital. My biggest punishment would be to seal my capital leaving the company or not joining the company.
Yeah, and it's great to hear male CEOs talk about this as much as female C-suite executives. Should there be mandates all over the world?
Well, you know, I take my personal responsibility. My executive committee is 50% diverse in terms of gender, is 40% diverse in terms of nationality. And by the way, is 30% diverse in terms of ethnic origin. So each of us as leaders, we need to take this as a personal responsibility. Hopefully, those responsibilities are going to grow all over the world. And as you said, maybe it should be imposed in certain geographies or in certain jurisdictions.